From a floating vampiric head to a flying sky snake. Here are the top 5 scary mythical creatures that might have come from space, part 2. Number 5 on this list is the Chupacabra. The Chupacabra is one of the most famous urban legend beasts in the entire world. This creature is apparently very common in the Central Americas and was first spotted several decades ago in Puerto Rico. Wikipedia says, physical descriptions of the creature vary, with some describing it as more dog-like, while most others describe it as reptilian and alien-like. Some report it as being a heavy creature the size of a small bear with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of the tail. So it's that one comment about it looking alien-like that really stands out to me and leads me to believe that it could be from space. These creatures are apparently very vampiric in nature and are often reported as killing the livestock of the locals. Goats are specifically on the menu and get targeted by these creatures a lot. This wouldn't be uncharacteristic alien behavior because think about how aliens respond to cows, another common livestock victim of these otherworldly creatures. Couldn't it be possible that the Chupacabra is from outer space and needs to eat these goats to survive? I think something interesting to note as well is the fact that it just kind of appeared in 1995. Before then, nobody had ever seen it or heard of it before. Maybe it came from outer space and crashed down on Earth in that year and it hasn't been able to leave since then. Considering this creature's tendencies, I truly don't think that this theory is that outlandish. Number 4 on this list is sky serpents. Sky serpents are part of a larger category of cryptids called atmospheric beasts. According to people who have seen these creatures before, they are living mammals or beasts that are made out of organic material, but they break all of the rules that we typically have for the animals that we regularly talk about, such as the ability for these animals to fly without having any wings. Sky serpents are defined by Cryptid Wiki as snakes or elongated serpentine dragons that appear to float or fly in the air. They typically move in an undulating fashion as if they are sea serpents of the air. They are not the same as ordinary flying dragons. Certain sky serpent sightings resemble brine shrimp because of the thin nature and thin arms, making it move or glide throughout the air because they manage to fly without wings, like most Asian dragons that have the ability to also fly. There's a few pictures that have surfaced about these sky serpents, but nothing that can unequivocally confirm their existence. The pictures that have come out though seem to show them as very large worm-like creatures that can pass through the sky. Artists' renditions of these beasts are a lot scarier though. A giant flying worm is bad enough, but the pictures that show these multi-headed dragon-looking creatures that seemingly swim through the air, that's a new tier of terrifying. I feel like these are probably just a made-up legend, but if there are some Rayquaza looking things just chilling in the sky, then we could definitely be in for some trouble, guys. Number 3 on this list is Fenrir. Fenrir is a creature from Norse mythology that is extremely dangerous and very scary. It's basically a giant wolf that is actually a giant that you really don't want to pick a fight with. Viking Jewelry says Fenrir was the most famous of many wolves creatures mentioned in Norse mythology. He was the son of the god Loki and the giantess Angrboda. The gods of Asgard raised Fenrir in order to stop him from wreaking havoc across the 9 worlds, but he grew quickly and caused so much trouble that they decided to chain him up. The gods convinced Fenrir to let them chain him up by pretending that they were playing a game to see how strong he was. Fenrir easily broke every bond. Eventually, the gods had the dwarves make a special chain that was stronger than any known but appeared light. Fenrir was suspicious of this chain and demanded that one of the gods put his hand in his mouth while he was being chained as a sign of good faith. The god Tyr agreed to this even though he knew he would lose his hand. When Fenrir realized that he had been tricked, he did indeed take the hand of Tyr. Meanwhile, the gods chained him to a boulder and placed a sword in his jaws to keep them open. The resulting drool formed a foamy river called Expectation. The ominous name of the river Expectation appears to be a reference to Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology, when Fenrir will break from his chains and get his revenge. Fenrir is also said to be the father of Skoll and Heidi, other giant wolves that chase the sun and moon respectively. It's also said that when Ragnarok comes, they will finally catch their targets and devour them. So there we have it, guys. If we live long enough, then we might just get to see Fenrir break out of his chains and come and devour us all. Something nice to look forward to. No, but in all seriousness, we wouldn't stand a chance against this beast. I can't even begin to comprehend its size and the power that it has. With one swoop of its massive paw, the entire planet could just be wiped out. For all our sakes, it's a good thing that it's currently chained up, because if it was loose, because if it was to come to our planet, then the future would look very bleak. Number 2 on this list is atmospheric jellyfish. Atmospheric jellyfish are in the same category as the sky serpents that we talked about earlier. They are also classified as an atmospheric beast. They're thought to be massive jellyfish that float in the sky and can fly up through the atmosphere. The weirdest part about this, and what has these jellyfish higher on the list than our sky serpents, is that it's believed these jellyfish are also used as a UFO. That's right, guys, these are living creatures that are their own separate entity made up of organic matter, but they are also used as vessels for aliens to travel through space. Meaning that if you see an atmospheric jellyfish, then not only could that thing kill and eat you, but there are also probably tens of hundreds of other creatures inside the jellyfish that can do the same. Now, in all honesty, I don't really understand how the mode of transportation works here, or how this jellyfish can hold all of these additional people. I suppose we need to catch one to figure that out. But as ridiculous as all of this sounds, it actually piqued the interest of the scientific community. Since the mid-20th century, there have been hundreds of sightings of these atmospheric jellyfish, and scientists have been forced to investigate what could be behind this. Through these encounters, there have also been a lot of pictures that have been taken as well, and they're pretty good quality. One of the most notable is the Dutch flying jellyfish, a picture captured by Harry Penton in the Netherlands. As you can see, it looks like a UFO, but also like a jellyfish. And that's because people believe they are one and the same. Jellyfish are already kind of creepy animals, but giant ones that are flying through space carrying aliens on board, that's a whole nother level of creepy. And finally, number 1 on this list is Penanggalan. This creature is truly terrifying, and based on what it's capable of doing, it could be from space. Forgotten Realms Wiki says a Penanggalan had 2 forms. During the day, the Penanggalan appeared as a human female resembling its original form before undeath. At night, the Penanggalan returned to its lair and its head separated from its body, revealing a 3-foot-long tail. A Penanggalan's eyes glowed red in darkness. Now, what they don't describe there, and I think it's important to understand how creepy this thing is that the 3-foot-long tail it has is actually a bunch of intestines that are hanging from its head. This thing is vampiric in nature and goes around feasting on people with an affinity to those who are pregnant. They suck people completely dry of their blood as they're sleeping while they're in this floating head form. They're also very skilled fighters and will totally mess you up if you do happen to wake up while this is taking place. Now, there's currently no confirmed origin of these creatures, meaning that no one really knows where they came from. I think that space is a potential option here though, because they kind of remind me of the Thing from the horror movie of the same name. A gruesome creature that can disguise itself as a human, but truly just wants to kill and eat as many humans as possible. That same creature came from space, and I think that there's a lot of similarities between the two. This specific beast is typically found around Malaysia, so be very wary if you happen to find yourself around that country. But there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 scary mythical creatures that might have come from space, part 2. Please comment down below what you thought about this list and some other potentially mythical beings that you may know about. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playalog, and I'll catch you next time.